everyone, Bella here, your favorite content creation specialist over at Self Publishing School, and in today's video we're going to be talking about one of the most frustrating things as an author, Amazon deleting your reviews and what you can do to prevent it. I'll give you a little hint. You may be doing one thing to cause it yourself. All the time from members in our community how much Amazon is deleting their reviews. They don't understand why they had 30 reviews yesterday, but today they only have 10. Or they got their first 3 reviews yesterday, now they have none. Since reviews are such a big part of your book and making sure that it ranks on Amazon, when they disappear, it's very frustrating. This is the one thing that can help the success of your book, and Amazon is taking that away. Let's talk about why that is, what are the causes, and what you can do to make sure that your reviews stay on Amazon. First, let's talk about why this is so important. The reviews on your book is what can make or break it. Amazon's algorithm basically weighs reviews a lot heavier than other factors when it comes to ranking. And that means the more reviews you get, the higher rated reviews, and if your reviews are consistently coming in, that's what will affect your rankings in Amazon, which in turn affects the sales of your book. And that means if you want your book to rank, you have to focus on getting reviews. But this video is not about how to get reviews. That'll be saved for another video. This video is about how to keep them. As always, we first have to understand why Amazon does what they do. And I know that you didn't read the terms and service, all those documents that they send you, but you clicked the little box saying that you did anyways. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read through some of the most important bits and I'll put them on the screen for you here. One factor that affects your reviews is a person's eligibility to leave them. We've had a couple people in our community not able to actually leave reviews. Here's what Amazon has to say about it. To contribute to customer features, for example, customer reviews, customer answers, idea lists, or to follow other contributors, you must have spent at least $50 on Amazon using a valid credit card or debit card in the past 12 months. The next thing that could be affecting your Amazon reviews is if you have a family member leave or write a review. Here's what Amazon says about that. We don't allow individuals who share a household with the author or close friends to write customer reviews for that author's book. Customer reviews provide unbiased product feedback from fellow shoppers and aren't to be used as a promotional tool. There's another factor that plays into reviews when it has to do with whether or not somebody was paid to leave a review. Here's Amazon's answers for this. Can I pay someone to write a customer review for my book? No, we don't allow any form of compensation for a customer review other than a free copy of the book provided up front. If you offer a free advance copy, it must be clear that you welcome all feedback, both positive and negative. If we detect that a customer was paid to write a review, we'll remove it. With something like this, it often has to do with the way the review was written, which we'll cover in a little bit how you can at least make sure your launch team doesn't make that mistake. So how do these guidelines manifest in your reviews? What can you do to make sure that your launch team, at the very least, the people who are setting your book up for success from the very first day it's published, can leave their reviews on your book instead of getting them taken off or removed by Amazon because they violate some sort of guidelines? So here are some of the reasons your launch team's reviews, or any reviews for that matter, are getting deleted. And it might have to do with something that you are doing, and we'll get to that one last. So first up, the members of your launch team or whoever are writing your book come from the same household. So even if somebody that you don't know has a mother or a daughter who has both ordered your book, if they have the same address, Amazon flags that, and it can be seen as a little bit sketchy that 2 people from the same household are writing a review. Now, this doesn't mean that these people are being fraudulent in any way. This is just a system that Amazon has in place to avoid fraudulent behavior. Yes, it's frustrating, but it is something that they can't really get around. Reason number 2 they're getting deleted is because 2 or more reviews are coming from the same bank account or card or any other payment method. So even if you just borrowed your best friend's card to pay for something on Amazon like a year ago, that card will still be in your record. And if you both then write a review for a book, Amazon sees that as being linked and it could be fraudulent behavior. Again, it might seem a little silly, but this is something that Amazon has to keep an eye on in order to make sure that reviews are unbiased. Reason number 3, it could potentially be deleted, and this one Amazon hasn't necessarily confirmed, but it is a hunch that we have, is that if you have somebody write a review immediately after purchase, it's a little bit funky because people can't read in 3 seconds. I mean, that would be really impressive, but it's just not possible. And so this isn't necessarily something that is for sure the reason, but to play it safe, because of trends that we've seen in our community and with our students, we recommend that people at least wait 2 days before leaving their review, even a few days, to make sure it look like that they actually read it, because they should have. Now, the reason this gets a little bit messy with launch teams is because oftentimes authors give free PDF files of their book to members of their launch team, who then end up buying the book when it does launch, and they'll leave the review right away. If any situation like this does happen, you can often talk to Amazon and request that the review be reinstated. However, you do have to keep the timing in mind. Reason number 4, and this might be another unconfirmed reason Amazon deletes reviews, is if the review sounds too friendly. This might sound silly, but if the review makes it kind of clear that you know the author personally, that you're friends in any way, that you see them in person, Amazon will see this as being fraudulent, because they do not want people who are close friends, like I mentioned in the terms earlier, to be writing your reviews. They see this as not being unbiased, and therefore the review is not credible, and so they'll pull it down. So when you're communicating with your launch team, make sure they use your first and last name, or just your last name, or the author when they're writing their review, in order to make it clear that you're not friends and that you are writing an unbiased review. Last but not least, number 5, the reason your Amazon reviews are probably getting deleted, and this is in particular if it's only your launch team members or people you have sent a link to sign up for your book, and it's something you are doing to cause it. And that's that you're sending your launch team a bad URL that Amazon can track negatively, and this will have reviews being pulled from your book. I'll explain the entire process right now. It does get a little confusing, but what you need to know is that there's a specific link you have to send without a bunch of other information, and all that other information is what will get your review removed. I actually discovered this on Dave Chesson's website, Kindlepreneur. He breaks it down really lovely, and I'm gonna break it down in a similar way for you right now. So here's the process that you're probably doing that you're messing up. You type your book's name into the search bar on Amazon, you find your book, you click the URL, you copy it, you paste it, and that's what you send to your launch team. Now, this seems pretty innocent, but the way Amazon's links are set up, especially if you searched for it in the search bar, is that it's all tracked and kept accounted for, because Amazon uses these searches in order to increase or to lower your book's rankings. The way that Amazon does rank these with the links can make it easy for companies to essentially cheat. So Amazon had to figure out a way to make sure that other people can't alter the rankings by cheating, essentially. Because this URL works in a very specific way, using that same URL can cause errors, and I'll explain why. This special link, this is what it looks like. This big URL is used in order to tell Amazon which book most people are clicking on, and therefore it tells them which book to rank higher. This is really helpful for just ranking products. Obviously, when people type something into the search bar, whichever one they click on seems the most appealing and the one that's going to solve whatever they're looking to solve, right? And so it seems simple. But when you send this link to somebody else, all of the information that's listed within the link also gets transferred to their computer. And all that other stuff can be really harmful. And why? Because this link contains the time that the link was copied. So Amazon has a way of knowing when the link was copied, and therefore when you're sending it to everybody else, that timestamp is also showing up on all of their computers. So this is kind of what the time looks like. There are 2 ways that Amazon tracks time. Firstly, the big number in the link is the amount of seconds that have passed since January 1st of 1970. I know, that's a little strange, but it's a great way of time tracking. The second number is the current ranking position of the item you clicked on, in this case, your book. Because these rankings do change often, if somebody else is getting the same link you had, but the book is not actually ranked there can be some discrepancies, and Amazon can often see that as being like, whoa, hey, this person's not doing something right, and so they can flag a review left from that link. So if you copy this link and then paste it, send it to your launch team, and they actually use that link in order to write the review right then, Amazon can see this as being fraudulent because the timestamp is from a previous time. and the ranking might not be the same either. There's a very simple fix for this. All you have to do is have your launch team type your book name or a keyword in the search bar alone and then find your book. Or you can send them the link without all of that information. This is what it would look like if you cut out all of the harmful information from your link and just sent them the main link that documents just the product. Just remember that if there are any discrepancies, you can call Amazon and ask that they reinstate reviews. Because this is just an algorithm, sometimes reviews are pulled without actually being manually checked. Therefore, if you contact their customer service, you can ask them to reinstate it. They will do a manual review, and if they don't find any of the terms have been violated, they'll put it back on. Obviously, this can be a little bit of a lengthy process, but it is worth it if you lost a lot of valuable reviews and you don't believe there's a real reason for it. So let's get this summed up for you really quick. Amazon will delete your reviews if they were written by 2 or more of the same people with the same address on file, if they were written by 2 or more of the same people with the same payment method on file, if they were written like they were from a friend, as if the reviewer knows you personally. This can be seen as unbiased and they will remove it. Number 4, if the review was written too quickly after purchase, they could see this as fraudulent behavior and remove it. And number 5, if you send that big, harmful URL to your launch team and they use it to write their reviews, it could be removed. Trust me, folks, Amazon is not doing this to be mean. They're actually doing this to protect us. Because things can seem fraudulent, even if they're not, they have to protect the buyers. After all, Amazon is all about themselves. They want to sell the most and they want it to be accurate and credible. And therefore, if the reviews are fraudulent, they're going to remove them in order to maintain an unbiased review process across the board. But a lot of these terms and conditions and rules for reviews have been harmful to authors in the past, but if you stick by these, Amazon should make sure that your reviews stay up there. Comment down below if you've had a ton of reviews removed from Amazon or even just a few and you just were frustrated by it and had no idea why. Also comment down below if you learned a thing or two about how to make sure those reviews stay there. Thanks for watching, guys. Follow us on social media, subscribe so you never miss a video, and I will see you next time.
My name is Jill Rogers, and my book is Shift Happens, Turning Your Stumbling Blocks into Stepping Stones. Don't put it off any longer. Just do it. All those doubts in your mind will get replaced with faith and moving forward. It will change your life. People are always saying, how did you do that in a self-publishing school?